looking like a fight.
Hi guys, it's Mr. TDC. Welcome to another quick clip. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button and let's just talk about Diego Lopes versus Jean Silva. Wasn't that a beautiful art that you saw? That spinning back elbow was probably the best spinning back elbow I have seen in 2025. I mean, it was perfectly executed. Silva was leaving in with a few strikes. He missed a left hook, and Diego just reversed that spinning back elbow, landed it right on Silva's left eye. And listen, when that elbow landed, to me, it was a wrap. Jean Silva was nearly out, right? Then this is something a lot of people didn't notice. When Jean Silva was on his way to the ground, his head smashed into Diego Lopes' knee. Did anybody catch that? Like, who caught that? Because I haven't heard any analysts talk about it, right? Then you tell me, after getting that elbow in the eye, the head smashing on Diego's knee, he gets to the floor, and Diego just grabs him, mounts him, and just supplies a barrage of punches. At least 10 unanswered punches. In my personal opinion, it wasn't a bad ref call. It wasn't too early, but I feel like it was too late because I think 3 punches would have been enough. For me. Some may argue differently, but that's fine. Okay? And then at the end of the day, you find Jean Silva being very salty about the loss. Guys, you know that listen, I've never hidden the fact that I'm not a fan of Jean Silva. I've always said in the fighting nerds, my favorite is Mauricio Rufy. I've said Kai Buhari is sort of growing on me. Carlos Prates, I like, he's a very bad man. And Jean Silva, I don't like. I really don't, especially because of his antics after he fought Bryce Mitchell, and I feel like he's a bit too animated. Then, come to find out he's about to fight Diego Lopes, and then, there's a lot of trash talking during the week, of which Diego finally, got his payback. But I don't get why Jean Silva why was he salty? You got your ass whooped, right? And even in the first round, when Diego Lopes was mounted on Jean Silva, he had the 12-6 elbow, the first 12-6 elbow Diego Lopes landed on Jean Silva's skull. It was a complete game changer. And unfortunately, it makes me wonder why Jean Silva decided to do the spinning kick. Bro, if you follow your history, Diego Lopes trains with Alexa Grassos. The spinning back kick is what Valentina Shevchenko tried to do to Alexa Grasso, and Alexa Grasso grabbed her, slipped and grabbed her, took her to the ground, and that was how Valentina Shevchenko lost her belt. The point I'm trying to make is Diego Lopes is Alexa Grasso's teammate and training partner. So they are expecting, they've trained for that move. Jean Silva tried that move in the first round. Diego did exactly what Alexa Grassos did to Valentina Shevchenko. He slipped, grabbed Silva, took him to the ground, and the rest was almost history for the rest of the round. It was such a good night. It was a good night for me. I'm not even gonna lie. But let's talk about the fighting nerds, man. The fighting nerds, hey, listen, you guys are taking L after L after L. A lot of people online are talking about how the fighting nerds have been fraud checked. I understand it. I have nothing to say about it, right? But I feel like there's still hope for Rufy. I feel like Carlos Prates still has a W, right? But that camp, I wonder what the morale is on that camp when they're, in the training facility, training for the next couple of weeks. How they're going to pull themselves out of the doldrum that they are in to hopefully get back to the high that they were riding before the last 2 months. No idea. Not really interested. But yeah, listen. I may be sounding like I enjoyed the Jean Silva loss. But that's because I did. I did enjoy that ass whooping. I think Diego Lopes is a gangster. But to be fair, props to Jean Silva for bringing the smoke. The fight was as advertised. This is like the modern day version of Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez, but without the wild exchange where it's like they lock in and they just keep throwing punches. But again, this should be a very strong contender for Fight of the Year, in my personal opinion. And I hope the UFC, takes it. I hope the UFC rides with it. Now, do we see Lerone Murphy or Diego Sanchez fight Alexander Volkanovski next for the belt? Because those are two very compelling cases. Lerone Murphy is undefeated, and the way he won his last fight against Aaron Pico, it was very clear, pretty much same way. Now you got Diego Sanchez, who's, the second, number 2 ranked contender, in a spectacular victory, even though he fought the number 10 guy, but he's fighting the number 10 guy who's been riding a win streak. What do? Do we let Lerone Murphy play out with Alexander Volkanovski, or do we let Lerone Murphy and Diego go at it, and then the winner gets Volk? Either one is fine with me. Either one is fine with me. It doesn't matter. I'd be happy either way it goes. Oh, but then you still have Aljamain Sterling in the mix though. Huh. What does Aljo fit in all this? Aljo versus Diego? While Lerone faces Volkanovski? Maybe? Who knows? Anyway, it was such a great night. And it's pissing me off that fight, the Diego Jean Silva fight, is not given the kind of buzz that it should have, because obviously on the same night the UFC, the Netflix and Dana White, whoever, TKO Boxing, whatever, they have the event of Canelo versus Crawford, and I'll get to that in another video. But listen, this Diego and Jean Silva fight, in my personal opinion, it needs a little bit more buzz than it's getting online. But hey, I don't control these things, okay? Mr. TDC is out. Peace. And I'll see you guys on the next one.